Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Wraith here, back with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about a super important topic that so many of us players, including probably yourself, struggle with every single day with Fortnite, and it's why you play good some days and you play terribly the other days. And obviously you want to make sure that you're playing good as often as possible, especially during tournaments and things like that. So in today's video I'm going to be breaking it down on how you can start playing more consistently and kind of playing good all the time, not just sometime. If you're looking forward to this video, make sure you slap a like button on it, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. So for the first tip is you're getting burnt out. Now, a lot of you guys might be like, well, what does that even mean? Or you might know what it means. But basically what I'm saying is majority of players right now in Fortnite, especially younger players, they literally try and grind 24/7. And trust me, grinding is really, really good, especially when you have free time. If you can play as much as possible, like I've talked about in recent videos, as long as you're playing properly, you're going to improve and you're going to get better. But the problem with playing literally so often and literally just not getting off and playing 24/7, or even playing 5-6 hours a day, is you just get burnt out, you get tired. You might not feel it, but trust me, it's there where your reaction is going to slowly start getting slower. You're not going to be caring and playing as in depth in each fight. Like, you're just going to be going through the motions. No matter how good of a player you are, like, trust me, it just happens. Like, you get burnt out. You don't really focus about individual things that you should be, like where you need to rotate far right, you just go you just keep going instead of rotating all the way far right, and then you get trapped. Or you'll be box fighting, instead of doing a proper edit, you're just going to do a classic window peek because you're just going through the motions, like you're not playing it. So trust me, if you've been grinding and you feel like you're just kind of tired, or even if you don't feel it, take 2-3 days off. Like, trust me, pros do it. I'm not saying take a full week off every single 3 weeks. Like, just take a week off or 2 to 3 days off every once in a while, so that way you kind of get back going. And trust me, after taking a break, you feel way better as a player, and you just feel a lot more cracked and a lot better overall because you're not kind of going through the motions. You can start focusing on small things again. So trust me, by not taking a break, like, you're literally just, some days you're going to be on and some days you're going to feel good, and then other days you're just going to feel tired, you're not going to want to grind, etc. And that might be why you play good some days and bad the others. So now the next tip that a lot of people fail to do, and I've talked about this in previous videos, and it's so important, is you're not getting in a proper warm-up and you're not doing the same things you should be doing every single day before you hop on. So what I say about that is, if you just hop on Fortnite cold and either hop in arena, hop in customs, or even sometimes hop into box fights, you're either going to be cracked or you're not going to be cracked. Some days you might feel absolutely unreal. You might be clapping everyone, just getting on, getting a fresh cold start. Hey, some days it happens. But other days you're going to feel absolutely terrible. You're going to be missing shots. You're going to be missing edits. You're going to be doing wrong plays. Like, you're just not going to feel good. And that's kind of like what I said with that consistency, where some days you're just not going to be good. Some days you're going to be really good. So kind of a way to avoid that as much as possible is doing the same warm-up every single time you play and doing it efficiently and properly. So for example, what I like to say about a good warm-up is try and get rid of every single criteria you can, depending on how much time you have to play. So for example, if you have 2-3 hours, then make sure you play like 10 minutes of Kovacs or 10 minutes of aim trainers, 10 minutes of free building, 10 minutes of edit courses, and then like 10 minutes of box fighting, and then you're good to go. You have 2 hours and 30 minutes-ish to play and practice, and then you're perfectly warmed up. You're going to feel a lot better. You're going to improve your mechanics by doing that warm-up consistently, because obviously the more time you play Kovacs, the more time you do aim trainers, free build, etc., the better you're going to get. And trust me, the more consistent you're going to be, because the more you do this and you kind of get in that routine, it's basically going to trick your brain and trick your body to be like, hey, it's time to go. I know that every single time after I play this routine, it means it's game time. It's time to focus up, time to get going. And trust me, it's going to help you so much. So like I said, every single day, make sure you warm up. If you have 7-8 hours, warm up for literally a good hour. Like, play Kovacs for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, play free building for 20 minutes, do box fighting for a little bit more. If you only have like I said, an hour, cut it down completely. Only do like 5-10 minutes of each thing, and then play 45 minutes of box fighting or whatever you can, right? But in my opinion, getting that warm up is just so important, and so many people fail to do it, and that's why they're inconsistent with their gameplay. So now this next tip kind of warns into the first one, and it's basically you aren't consistent on how much you play and kind of what you do. So for example is, let's just say for average week you play Monday, Tuesday for an hour, and then Wednesday you don't play, Thursday you play for like 20 minutes, and then Friday you play for 3 hours, and then you don't play Saturday or Sunday, right? Well, in reality, if you think about it, you're probably not going to be the most consistent player ever because you're not doing the same schedule. Like you're not playing an hour each day. You're not playing 3 hours each day. You're not playing 2 hours here, 1 hour, 2 hour, blah, 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 right? And you guys might be like, well, I have a life. Like I have school, I have homework, blah, blah. I might not be able to play that time. And I'm not saying it's bad, but maybe just try your best to kind of focus and split up your time so you're playing as consistently as possible. If you can play an hour every single day, perfect, play that. If you can play 2 hours Monday to Wednesday, take Thursday, Friday off because you need to finish school or whatever, you have work or whatever the case is, and then you play an hour or two on Saturday and Sunday, do that. Like just try and play more consistently. That way you kind of are going to feel better every single time you play. If you're just playing random spurts of time, you're playing random days, you're taking a week off here, you're taking 5 days off every single couple days, like you're not going to become an good player, and you're not, well, you might become a good player, but you're not going to be as consistent as possible. Now, like I said, obviously I understand if you have other things to do, like for example work, if you have whatever the case is, like school, I understand that 100%, but I'm saying if you want to be more consistent, just try and make sure you prioritize that time so it's the same every single day or very similar. So no, my next tip is super, super important, and so many people don't think about it and don't realize that it is really affecting them, and it's getting a good sleep and eating properly. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably like, man, like, what is this Fortnite YouTuber telling me to eat properly and sleep? Like, I don't care, right? But trust me, getting a good sleep is really such a big deal for performing well in not only Fortnite, but in everything, school, jobs, everything like that. Like, getting a solid 7 to 10 hours is just so, so important. And trust me, it's going to be a lot more efficient and effective for you than if you only sleep 5-6 hours. Now, I know you guys might be like, well, sometimes when I wake up after only 5 hours, I play way better and I am more consistent and stuff like that. And 100%, that might be the case. Like I said, sometimes you might be more consistent if you get like short sleep or long sleep or whatever the case is. But trust me, in the long run, the more time you sleep every single night, the more effective you're going to be, the more energized you're going to be, the more focused you're going to be. If you try and sleep 5-6 hours every single night for the next month, like even a week, you're gonna feel grogged out. Some people can do it, don't get me wrong, some people can do it, but for majority of people, you're gonna feel grogged, you're not gonna feel good, you're gonna be missing edits, shots, you're not gonna be able to focus as well. So make sure you're just getting a somewhat decent sleep if you can. If you're really focused and really want to do good, in my opinion, it's super, super important to do that. At least 7 to 9, 10 hours. Obviously, you don't have to do it, but trust me, it will give you the advantage. Same thing with eating good. Eating like crap, eating like junk is just going to hurt your mental overall. You're going to be more stressed out. You're going to not feel as good. I'm not saying you need to go absolutely become a keto warrior or something like that. Just eat a little bit healthier, and I know you guys don't have to do it. It's just a suggestion, but trust me, it will help. So now the last thing that so many people do, and I just don't really understand why they do it, and it's switching up your playstyle or your binds or sensitivity or your settings too much. And what I mean about that is it's 100%, don't get me wrong, it's 100% okay to try different playstyles. It's okay to try different sensitivities, different binds. Don't get me wrong, it's 1000% okay. But the problem is, if you just keep doing it every single day or every week, you're not going to become consistent. You're not going to become better because you're just solely focused on trying new things, and you're not going to get consistently good at that one thing. So, for example, if you keep buying a new mouse and trying it every month, well, how are you expected to be more consistent with it if you're switching equipment? Same with the keyboard, same with your controller even, right? Same with sensitivity. Like clicks, for example, is a prime example, or clicks is a prime example. Like he said, he has not changed his binds, I think, since like one of the starting seasons of Fortnite, and the reason for that is consistency. If you're trying new sensitivity, if you're trying new binds, you're not going to be as good as you possibly can because you're focused on kind of getting good at those specific sensitivity or binds. So trust me, once you figure out ones, stick with what you want, stick with what you like. It's good the odd time to switch it out if you really need to. Don't be afraid to switch binds and sensitivity, but just try your best to stick with it. And the same thing goes for playstyles. Don't be afraid to try W keying. Don't be afraid to play passive. Like, it's okay to try different playstyles, but if you just switch between them every single game, you're probably not going to be as good as you can at both. So for example, if you're really good at W keying, well then it's okay to play passive and learn how to play passive, because obviously you want that in your arsenal, but you really want to focus on W keying and become become the best W keyer you can, because that's clearly where your strength lies. If you're really good at staying alive, really good with rotations, same thing goes for that. Just focus on your passive playstyle. 1000% learn how to W key, learn how to take fights. I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm saying focus on what you're good at and do that. Because if, for example, if you're playing a tournament and you're switching from W key games to passive games every single game, how are you supposed to stay consistent, right? So do what you like, do what you're good at, and stick with it. Don't be afraid to try other things, but just don't switch every single 2 seconds. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you tap a like button on it, comment what you want to see for a future video, hit that subscribe button, use creator code WraithFN in the item shop, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.